What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So Six Samurai might actually become meta again, and that's actually pretty damn crazy. Some of you guys are probably face palming right now. You're saying, damn it, Cap G, I fell for your clickbait again. But what you don't realize is that Six Samurai actually won a regional over last weekend in Omaha, Nebraska. In fact, I found out about it because of Asian Persuasion's channel, but I think the deck was also on like House of Champs and on a whole bunch of other channels, and it really revolves around one card in particular kind of being like one of the win conditions of the card, and that's number 86, Heroic Challenger. This card, or excuse me, Heroic Champion. This card is actually ridiculous. I showed it off a lot in my Cherubini Repairman lock video, where essentially you could get this card on the field with like 6 materials. Your opponent can't really do anything because it can't be affected by any monster effects. Your opponent can't normal summon, they can't special summon, they can't kaiju you, so it's almost impossible to out because they can't really play any monsters. The only monsters that they can put on the field are by setting them, and especially in today's climate where people don't really run things like Raigeki and Dark Hole, you can just actually OTK your opponent during the following turn. Six Samurai happens to be one of the decks that can play this because guess what? It's warrior based. Not every deck can summon Heroic Champion because, you know, you basically are going to be using warrior monsters, and with number 75 it's become a lot easier because now you can use essentially like level 3s, and you make number 75 and you essentially just have your Heroic Champion just absorb those materials. So this is one of the decks that can do it relatively easily, and it's already been tested IRL against Goki, against Trickstar, against Sky Strikers, against Altergeist stats. It is quite effective. So you see right here, you're trying to do basically what the Cherubini deck did, where you're just going for MX Saber Invoker and then going for Isolde. It's actually very similar to like Goki. I kind of feel like this is the Warrior Revolution right now in the game. If you guys ever played through Zexal, there was the Beast Warrior Revolution where there was like Bujins, Fire Fist, and you know, Tinky was like the best card in the game. Right now, it feels like the entire game kind of revolves around Warriors. Isn't Sky Striker Ace Ray a Warrior? I feel like Warrior is by far the best type in Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of it has to do with just Isolde, but you see right here, he summons number 86 turn 1, and another problem is if you can't actually out the Heroic Challenger, Heroic Champion, that's a different card, then you're just going to let him use Isolde again, and since Six Samurai can activate, or they can use Soul Charge, this means that in some of these plays, they might actually be able to drop like a Xian during that same turn, because there are actually cards in his graveyard as well. So if he happened to have like a Soul Charge, not like you're going to be attacking turn 1 anyways with Six Samurai, it can just be downright game. And in case you have hand traps, you know, there's things like Called by the Grave that you can use against that. So his opponent, he's probably just going to set like, I don't know, did he set a Solitaire? Nope, he set a Mizuki, guessing it'll be good in the graveyard. And from here, I believe there is a chance he will actually make a Xian, but Six Samurai have enough explosiveness, and yeah, he does actually activate Isolde again. I believe a lot of these decks play the Bamboo Engine just as like draw support. Six Samurai works really well with that, and once you get that one monster off the board, then it's basically GG no Re. And honestly, just if you look at the meta, there aren't many decks that are equipped to kind of go second and not have the ability to like special summon. Most of those decks will be like killed unless you have like a Scapegoat or set. Well, no, actually Scapegoat wouldn't work either because you can't special summon the tokens. Like, yeah, if you had something like Mirror Force, that might actually be pretty good, but let's be real, no one really runs battle traps in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! And actually, this duel is one where he actually got 7 materials on it, so you wouldn't even be able to use something like Raigeki or Dark Hole to actually out it. And Six Samurai, I believe, since now the Six Samurai players are running like the red and blue samurai, I believe that there are actually infinite loops of like Gateway, where even if you go second and you open with like Gateway, I think it might be like a 4-card combo. I can't fully explain it. It'll be in Asian Persuasion's video, which I'll have in the description of this one. You can get infinite counters on your Gateway, which actually means that you can get infinite attack on one of your Six Samurai monsters, because I believe Gateway's first effect is what? Remove 2 counters and then give a Six Samurai monster 500 attack, and of course it's not a hard once per turn. Nothing on Gateway is a hard once per turn. That's what got the card banned in the first place. But I mean, there weren't any hard once per turn effects during, when did that card, I feel like that card came out in 5Ds, not during GX. But as you see right here, once again, he has Isolde on the field. No, excuse me, this is Summon Sorcerers. So this is even worse because Summon Sorcerers will give him another warrior monster because they'll just activate the effect. Although Isolde basically did the same thing anyways. I think with Summon Sorcerers, he can get whatever he wants. But you see right here, he makes number 86, and I mean, look how many materials this damn thing. This thing has 7 materials on it, so it's not feasible for people to just wait out number 86 when you're putting anywhere from 5 to 7 materials in the first turn. The way Yu-Gi-Oh is, like, the only deck that I would think would have a decent chance, I'm talking about meta decks, of quote-unquote waiting out the 86 would possibly be Ultrageist, and that's because Ultrageist can at least maybe set like a Miluseek, and then, you know, set possibly like a Solemn Strike. And maybe if this guy initially had 4 materials, they attack your Miluseek, it floats into Multi-Faker, and then maybe you can actually like use Impermanence on this guy and then summon your Multi-Faker and then bounce it when it doesn't have an effect. That would be like the only deck. But other decks like True Draco and Pendulums and Sky Strikers, what's the deck that I'm missing? Goki, they don't really have the ability to prolong the game, especially a deck like Goki. Goki don't run any trap cards. It's basically Called by the Grave or Bust. So if they go second against this deck, you basically just automatically lose the duel. I'm going to pause for a second and show you guys what the deck looks like. It's probably very similar to the deck that actually won the regional. Okay, so here's what the deck looks like on paper, and it's not that complicated. I believe that there used to be an FTK with Six Samurai. I'm not exactly sure. I felt like it was a burn damage FTK, and it revolved around red and blue. The fact is, when you get Gateway on the field, you can kind of like infinitely summon each one, so maybe that had something to do with it. It was a long time ago, so I can't exactly remember how it was done, but this deck's pretty simple. I mean, basically, you're just running a whole bunch of Six Samurai monsters. I always knew that Kizan was going to be a card in Samurai that was like, it was basically impossible to power creep because you have the ability to always special summon it from your hand, and then if you get it from Gateway, you can just like instantly drop it on the field. And unlike Grandmaster, where you can only control one, like you can control as many Kizans as you want. It's really good with link summoning too, because you just search your Kizan, then you drop it, and when you do special summon it, you get more counters for Gateway, or you know, Six Samurai United, or Shien's Dojo, or whatever. The rest of these spell cards, which you don't run any traps in this deck, there's no point, are basically just like either cards that search Six Samurai monsters, so you know, Smoke Signal and Rhoda should be somewhere in here, or they're just like, you know, cards that hold counters, United, Dojo, Gateway of the Six, and then you have the other engine, which is just a bunch of equip cards for you to use with Isolde. So yeah, just a lot of these equip cards are super popular right now because Isolde is such a ridiculous card, and when you send the curse cards to the graveyard, like the Cursed Bamboo Sword, then you can actually search other cards. Like you can get your golden, let you draw cards, you get your regular bamboo, etc., etc. You see Divine Phoenix Blade and Goki, and basically like all the warrior decks. And Moonmare Shield's good in case you're, I don't know, going second or something like that, and you do have to attack over maybe like a big monster like Borolo Dragon, something that would be incredibly difficult to beat over. But this is a pretty, I think it's a pretty simple deck, and as long as you open with number 86 and you got like 5 materials on it, it's going to be pretty difficult for your opponent to actually deal with that. So thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily video.